The maitre d' of La Serena, Lagos' most talked about waterfront restaurant, led Tessa and Damien to a candlelit table set inches from the gleaming lagoon. Sunset spilled orange petals across the water. Violins murmured above clinking glasses. But Damien's jaw was locked, his shoulders flexed beneath a designer linen shirt. Tessa noticed the tension, yet still tried to meet him halfway. She'd worn the pale blue wrap dress he once called his favorite shade on earth, and tucked her braids into a soft chignon. An echo of the look he said made her eyes fireflies at dusk. She smiled and reached for his hand. Damien didn't take it. Instead, he inhaled, staring at her as if auditing a tax form. Damien, Tessa, I'm rebranding. Tessa, you mean your new workout app? Damien, my entire image. Look, followers expect consistency. My partner has to fit the aesthetic. Tessa, aesthetic? Damien, lean, photogenic, marketable. I need someone who looks like the life I'm selling. The words landed like stones in her stomach. She tried to steady her voice. Tessa, I supported your life. I've been your photographer, copywriter, accountant, Damien, and I'll always be grateful. But honest brands require honesty. You're smart and kind, Tess. Just not the look anymore. Silence swallowed the table. Waiters drifted by with silver domes. A jazz singer crooned. Tessa's appetite vaporized. The future she'd built in her head, marriage, maybe children, Sunday mornings in matching robes, shattered like dropped crystal. She cleared her throat, refusing to let tears garnish Damien's narrative. Tessa, fine. I won't ruin the aesthetic. She rose, smoothing her dress, and walked out before dessert arrived, leaving Damien alone with his curated ambition and an untouched lobster thermidor. The door to their 5-year story shut with the soft click of a wine glass set down too gently. 3 nights later, Tessa's phone pinged. At 1 a.m. insomnia had driven her to the sofa, scrolling half-heartedly through book club memes. The screen filled with Damien's latest Instagram post. He stood shirtless on a yacht off Victoria Island, arms circled possessively around Zara, a statuesque fashion model whose commercial for nuclear energy bars played before every fitness video on YouTube. Her melanin-rich skin glowed. Her emerald bikini threatened to write off gravity as a rumor. The caption beneath the carousel read, #upgrade season. The internet erupted. Fire emojis. A sea of goals. Comments dissected Zara's oblique lines and Damien's protein intake. Someone linked a gossip blog hinting he'd been seeing Zara for months. Tessa didn't cry. She felt something colder, an Arctic clean emptiness washing away the last bits of denial. She clicked save on the post, not out of masochism but record keeping. Inner monologue, if he needs an audience, let's keep the receipts. She turned off the phone, but the yacht lingered on the backs of her eyelids like a neon ghost. Sleep never came. Morning brewed storm clouds over her apartment. Tessa brewed coffee and memories. Flashback. For years earlier, Damien filming home workout videos in their cramped living room. Tripod balanced on a pile of textbooks. Audio fizzy. View count 62. Tessa, behind the camera, coached his framing, wrote captions, learned SEO, pitched brands. She was the scaffolding while he became the skyline. Flashback. Date night after his first sponsorship, he surprised her with second-row tickets to Hamilton in London. On the flight back, he whispered, "You're my home, Tess. My gravity." Now, gravity felt optional for him. She rifled through an old shoebox, photos of beach picnics, their first apartment lease, the necklace he bought when she landed her teaching job. Evidence of a man who once celebrated her mind, not her metrics. Her phone vibrated with group chat pings. Friends linked the yacht post. Deja, her best friend and a Paris-based photographer, voice noted, "Deja, ma chérie, saw the nonsense. Block him, pack a bag, come to Paris. My spare room misses you." Tessa pressed the phone to her chest. Something inside her, fragile but unbroken, whispered, "Run toward people who still see you." She opened her laptop, navigated to Instagram, and hovered over the Memories tab. Then, with quiet finality, She deleted every picture of Damien. No rage captions. No cryptic quotes. Just a purge as methodical as deleting code. The shoebox photographs? She slid them into a manila envelope addressed to his gym's P.O. box, scrawling 2 words across the flap. For aesthetics. Rain hammered Lagos like typewriter keys, while Tessa booked a one-way flight to Charles de Gaulle. She closed her curriculum planner. Teaching would wait. Next, she composed an email to the principal. Family emergency. Indefinite leave. Truthful enough, she was family to herself now. Packing felt ceremonial. The pale blue wrap dress, a frayed sketchbook she hadn't opened in years, charcoal pencils, and a Polaroid of her late mother in Congolese wax print. Reminder that beauty wasn't one body type, but 1,000 stories woven into cloth. At the airport, she blocked Damien's number. When the gate agent scanned her boarding pass, Tessa exhaled a 5-year relationship and inhaled possibility. 36,000 feet up, she stared at quilted clouds and remembered her own abandoned dream. Fashion design. Because Damien's rise required her free evenings, her pattern courses turned into camera work. Her dress prototypes became gym merch. She'd archived herself. Inner monologue, reclaim the archive. She sketched a gown on the in-flight napkin. High neck, knives of gold jacquard pouring into a daring thigh-high slit, elegance meeting defiance. When turbulence jolted the plane, the pen line quivered like a seismograph, proof that rebirth is never smooth. The cab dropped her in Le Marais at dawn, cobblestones shining after rain, boulangeries yawning warm butter into the street. Deja's loft occupied the top floor of a renovated textile factory, its iron beams tattooed with graffiti from 1970s activists. Deja flung open the door in an oversized tie-dye kimono and satin bonnet, arms spread wide. Deja, Tessa Majuabuchi, welcome to the city of second chances. They hugged hard enough to bruise ribs. Inside, art prints and camera lenses littered every surface. Mood boards of ebony-skinned models draped in jewel tones wallpapered the stairwell. Morning broke inside Deja's loft like a promise, sunlight latticing the wooden floor, the smell of Guatemalan roast drifting from a French press. Tessa emerged from the spare room in joggers and a threadbare tee, expecting small talk. Instead, Deja shoved a sketchbook under her nose. Deja, explain why you buried this talent like pirate loot. Tessa, because pirate loot doesn't pay rent. Deja, baby, this is rent. This is mortgage, penthouse, and a driver named Baco. Deja flipped pages. Art Deco gowns, Afrofuturist jackets, beadwork mapping constellations across bodices. Deja, pick one. We turn theory into cloth tonight. Tessa, you can't just drop couture out of thin air. Deja, watch me. She dialed favors. Habiba the fabric dealer, Saint Germain pattern artist Jacques, and a seamstress collective of Senegalese aunties who stitched for Dior in the 80s. By noon, bolts of gold thread brocade and emerald duchess silk towered in the living room. Tessa's self-doubt arrived, punctual as a tax auditor. Tessa, what if no one cares? Deja, then we make them care. The day became a symphony of scissors, humming machines, aunties gossip singing in Wolof. Tessa rediscovered the arithmetic of darts and seams, her fingers moving faster than thought. Jacques draped Tess muslin and murmured, Mademoiselle, your lines dance. At 2 a.m. Deja killed the music. The gown hung glowing on a mannequin. Liquid gold top, sculpted waist. Thigh-high slit that suggested danger without screaming it. Tessa's breath hitched. Deja, try it on. In the mirror, Tessa didn't see heartbreak. She saw silhouette, sovereignty. The dress didn't ask permission, it declared. Tessa, I made this. Deja, correction, you released this. It was in you all along. Outside, Paris street lamps flickered like paparazzi test shots. Inside, a queen remembered her crown. The next afternoon, Deja dragged Tessa and the gown to the Pont Alexander III. Gilded cherubs, horses, and Art Nouveau lamps stretching over the Seine. Tourists rubbernecked. A busker played Afrobeats on sax. Tessa stepped from the changing tent into a gust of spring wind. The fabric clung, fluttered, shimmered. Bystanders gasped. A child pointed, whispering princess. Deja, on the bridge. Tessa. Damien always told me to hide my thighs. Deja. Damien sells protein powder. You sell magic. Flash. Tessa pivoted, gold ripples chasing sunlight. Flash. She tossed her braids, the slit flashed tone leg. Flash. Onlookers applauded after each click like a runway audience. A cyclist lost balance, nearly veering into the Seine. Deja laughed, collateral glamour. She captured the moment, Tessa's hand outstretched to steady the cyclist, smile wide with adrenaline. They shot until dusk, painted the sky sangria. Deja live-edited one image. Tessa mid-stride, Eiffel Tower blurred in background, gown aflame with dying sunlight. She typed a caption, not your type? Maybe she's the world's. Designer at Tessa made it, muse at Tessa made it photo. Yours truly, she hit post. Within minutes, 5 likes, 30, 200. Comments in Yoruba, French, Korean. Who is she? Link the dress. Smashing the beauty matrix. A verified account at Orisha Cosmetics DM'd. Need her for our next campaign. Rate card. Deja showed Tessa the message. Tessa, but I don't even have a rate card. Deja, then let's price the sun. By midnight the post hit 100k likes. Fire. Sunrise. Tessa's phone buzzed like a beehive. Emails from agents, stylists, brand managers. Harper and Cole runway. London Fashion Week slot open. Maison Lumiere. Commission 5 gowns. NDA attached. Netflix Africa. Costume consult for a fantasy series. Deja brewed espresso. Cackling at each notification. Deja, welcome to inbox cardio. Tessa, this is absurd. Deja, absurd is good. Absurd buys islands. A call came through from Amaka Nwosu, editor of Vogue France's new Afropolitan vertical. Amaka, Ms. Majuabuchi, your story fits our next cover. Rise of the Underrated. Interested? Tessa, I'll have to check my schedule. Amaka, girl, please. I can hear you hyperventilating. Email me by noon. Tessa hung up, eyes saucer-wide. Tessa, Vogue. Actual Vogue. Deja, sip your espresso. You'll need steady hands for the contract. They built a war room. Sticky notes mapping priorities, gala invites, sponsorship reveals, content scheduling. Deja structured tiers, editorial, advertisements, runway. Tessa's teaching planner habit slid into place, color-coding each cell. Mid-meeting, a notification. Damien Vero tagged you in a post. Tessa froze. She opened it. He'd shared an older couple's yoga photo. Captioned, some bonds are forever. Comments asked if he was throwing shade. Deja, he's spinning. Tessa, let him. I'm busy. They crafted autoresponders. Tessa appreciates your interest. Her manager will respond within 48 hours. For the first time, manager meant Deja in a blazer. Night fell. They popped Prosecco. Bubbles burst like mini applause. Tessa, to the unexpected revolution. Deja, no, babe, to choosing ourselves first. Their glasses clinked, an audible promise that momentum, once seized, would not be surrendered. In a Lagos penthouse gym, Damien mounted a treadmill. Zara recording a vlog intro. Morning shred with Africa's fitness king. His phone dinged mid-run. Zara frowned. Zara, your ex is trending. Again. Damien, clickbait. Zara, it's your entire explore page. Damien slowed to a stop. Thumbnail grid. Tessa in gold on Pont Alexander 3. Carousel of brands shouting her out. He scrolled. Millions of likes. Hashtag type me trending. His pulse spiked. Not from cardio. Damien, she must have hired bots. Zara, Vogue doesn't need bots. Anxiety cracked his composure. He DM'd Tessa, proud of you. Coffee when you're back? The message showed seen and nothing else. Zara's phone lit with group chat gossip. Bro. Damien fumbled hard. She bit her lip. Zara, why do you care? You have me. Damien, of course. You're my present. She's just nostalgia. but nostalgia felt like acid reflux. Later, during a merch photo shoot, Damien's smile looked glued on. Photographers asked for one more take until his jaw ached. At home, he opened old Google Sheets budgets, Tessa's formulas, organized their entire early hustle. He deleted her from his grid, but the cells still carried her fingerprints. He slammed the laptop shut. Outside, Lagos nightlife thumped, but for Damien the city was suddenly mute, just the echo of 6.4 million hearts double-tapping someone he declared off-brand. Paris, a rented studio overlooking Montmartre. White cyclorama. 17 people fussing over Tessa. Hairstylist twisting her braids into a crown. Makeup artist dabbing golden highlighter along cheekbones. Stylist steaming a cape of Kent print organza. Amaka Nwosu from Vogue France strode in. Prada trench sweeping. Amaka, the internet already loves you. Let's give them history. Tessa, thank you for believing in Amaka. Believe? Honey, I have metrics. They shot 3 looks. 1, warrior queen, breastplate of recycled brass, slit skirt swirling like battle smoke. 2, scholar chic, ivory silk jumpsuit and horn rim glasses, paying homage to Tessa's teaching roots. 3, monarch in gold, the original gown, now paired with a 7-foot emerald cape. Tessa's favorite moment, holding her mother's Polaroid between takes. The camera captured tears balancing on her lashes. Amaka, readers need to see that. Beauty with lineage. Lunch break on the terrace, croissants, suya skewers, laughter. The crew quizzed Tessa about the Damien saga. She shrugged. Tessa, he was part 1. I'm writing sequels. The final shot demanded motion. Fans blasted. The emerald cape erupted behind her like a phoenix tail. Tessa raised her chin, eyes burning with a challenge to anyone who had ever mislabeled her worth. Shutter snapped, cover secured. After wrap, Amaka pulled her aside. Amaka, the Monarch Gala committee saw the teasers. They're extending a co-headliner invite. That means presenting, not just attending. Tessa, but that's next month. I'd need a full collection. Amaka, then you'd better start sketching, queen. Tessa walked outside into Paris dusk. Phones chimed. Deja sent a screenshot. Vogue pre-cover tease hits 1 million likes in 45 minutes. Deja, the world is crown hungry. Feed them. Tessa, sharpening the jewels as we speak. Across the channel, Damien refreshed his feed until dawn, watching love hearts fly toward a woman he once asked to fit the aesthetic. Each notification felt like a tiny hammer tapping cracks into his ego. Back in Paris, Tessa spread blank sheets across Deja's dining table. She sharpened a pencil, whispered a prayer to her mother's memory, and drew the opening line of her next act, a cascade of lines bursting with color and audacity. The night was silent except for graphite scratching paper and the distant hum of the Seine. Yet in that hush, you could almost hear a million strangers waiting, breath held, for her next reveal. Days after the Vogue shoot, Tessa and Deja joined an emergency Zoom with the Monarch Gala board. The screen filled with industry titans, foundations of couture houses, billion-follower influencers, even a Saudi princess whose earrings probably paid for small nations. Chairwoman Valerie Dupont, Mademoiselle Majuabuchi. The gala celebrates innovation. We wish you to co-headline with Affleck's Fitness. Tessa, an honor, but I'll need 10 complete looks in 3 weeks. Valerie, we saw what you crafted in a night. We trust your velocity. A window popped open. Affleck CEO Damien Vero, jaw clenching when he realized who the other headliner was. Tessa kept her smile polite and exactly 2 millimeters deep. Damien, Tessa, congratulations. Tessa, thank you. Branding is everything, after all. Call ended. Deja hooped, spinning a swivel chair like a carnival ride. Deja, front row showdown, baby. Tessa, this can't be about beating him. It has to be bigger. Then let's build a collection that outgrows the ring entirely. They titled the line Phenom, from clay to crown. 10 looks telling the story of being dismissed, cracked, fired in heat, then gilded. Fabrics, raw Ugandan bark cloth burned into charcoal umber. Ivorian Kent threaded with 24-karat wires, Nigerian Asuk dipped in molten gold. Deja live-streamed snippets of the process, hype ballooned. Sleep became myth. Seamstresses dozed beneath cutting tables. Tessa kept them motivated with playlists, Yemi Alade at 3 a.m., Burna Boy at dawn. The atelier vibrated like an engine. On delivery day, couriers whisked away gown-armored garment bags. Tessa scribbled a single reminder on her mirror, not vengeance, ascension. Monarch Gala night, Marseille Opera House. Spotlights combed the sky. Drones formed floating crowns overhead. Paparazzi barked names while a live stream ticker scrolled past 2 million viewers. A stretch Maybach paused. Doors lifted. First, Deja descended in a cobalt jumpsuit. Then Tessa emerged, wearing look 10. Sovereign Rift, liquid black velvet splitting to reveal a column of dripping gold mesh, like night erupting into dawn. A detachable shoulder cape carried bead-stitched words in 3 languages, too rare to be your type. Flashbulb stuttered. The carpet parted, as if she walked with her own gravity. Reporter 1. Tessa, who are you wearing? Tessa, a woman who finally tells her own story. Damien arrived 20 minutes later, flanked by Zara and a posse of trainers in neon tracksuits. Cameras clicked, polite, not rabid. Behind him, a Times Square-sized LED screen replayed Tessa's entrance on loop. Zara, why is your ex in every thumbnail? Damien, because controversy sells. Zara, so does class. Try using some. Inside the opera foyer, marble staircases gleamed. Affleck's mannequins displayed compression leggings. Across the hall, Tessa's phenom gowns floated like stained glass ghosts. Attendees migrated disproportionately toward the gowns, phones outstretched. A hush fell when the orchestra struck a single violin note. Valerie Dupont stepped on stage. Valerie, tonight we crown 2 visions of power, the athletic and the artistic. We begin with Phenom. Spotlight side open, revealing Tessa at the back of the stage, gold mesh trembling. Applause thundered before she moved an inch. Tessa's show detonated hearts. Each model told a chapter, starting in burlap shadows, ending in crowns of braided bullion. The crowd stood as the final look glided. A plus-size model wearing an armor of mirror shards reflecting every flash. Backstage, Damien punched air warming up for his Affleck's presentation. Brand manager Luca rushed in, pale. Luca, problem, our LED intro crashed. Sponsors logos blink offensive codes. Damien, reboot. Luca, we did. It spells expired gains. Someone hacked. On stage, Affleck's launched anyway. The screen behind Damien flickered. Jim Bro slogans morphed into memes. Skip leg day, skip profits. The audience giggled, then guffawed. Zara's face drained. Models jogged out in monochrome spandex, but half the VIPs had already drifted back to Tessa's display where attendees tried on VR headsets, seeing themselves in her gowns via augmented mirrors. Trending hashtag split. Hashtag Phenom rises versus hashtag Affleck's crash. Damien finished his demo to tepid claps. Sweat haloed his pristine tee. Zara, it wasn't the tech. People just weren't feeling it. Damien, I built this empire. Zara, empires that ignore people's hearts crumble. He stormed out, shoving past a rolling rack. A sequin snagged his sleeve, tiny gold thread from Tessa's line. He ripped it free, but the glitter refused to brush off like cosmic dust mocking him. Online, commentary erupted. Affleck's felt 2018. Phenom felt 3018. He left a queen. The queen left him in the past. Stock for Affleck's parent company dipped 4% overnight. Investors texted, call Monday. 3 a.m. Damien sat alone on his balcony, Marseille harbor lights quivering below. He scrolled hate-watching clips. Tessa shaking Valerie's hand, Solange Knowles hugging her. Fireworks crowning the opera roof. He opened Lightroom, searching their old photos. Tessa laughing in grocery aisles, Tessa adjusting his tripod. Nostalgia drowned him like undertow. He stitched a reel. Piano music, slow fades, caption when you realize real beauty was beside you all along. Zara emerged in robe, saw the export bar on his phone. Zara, you're using your ex for engagement? Damien, it's the truth. Zara, it's exploitation. She walked away. He posted anyway. Within an hour, comments skewered him at Niamarites. She didn't glow up for you. Sis glowed up in spite of you. At Body Posy Coach, stop nostalgia marketing exes you publicly downgraded. Influencer drama channels compiled receipts of his breakup dinner and upgrade season caption. Algorithm determined villainy, the real ratioed with clown emojis. In Paris, Deja scrolled, cackled, showed Tessa. Tessa, pain makes people reckless. Let him process. Deja, Saint Tess, patron of ex-boyfriends. Tessa, hardly. I'm just busy sewing crowns. She pivoted to design request flooding email. Beyoncé's stylist, Ghana Film Festival, Met Gala whispers. Momentum didn't pause for Damien's remorse. Meanwhile, Zara went live from a hotel corridor. Eyes red. Zara, he still talks about her. Fame is fickle. Authenticity matters. Clipped into TikTok loops, the quote became gasoline to Damien's bonfire. Hashtag Vero regret 2 days later, Damien crafted a Notes app apology. I failed to value real beauty, inside and out. He posted across socials. Blue check pundits yawned. Privately, he typed a DM. Damien, Tess, I was blind. You were always extraordinary. Coffee. 3 dots appeared. She was reading, then vanished. Scene 10:14 p.m. He paced hotel carpet until sunrise, phone dark. Tessa, meanwhile, attended a breakfast with UNESCO, discussing a scholarship fund for African girls in textile design. She pitched her idea, Clay to Crown Fellowship. Delegates approved seed grants. Deja filmed the handshake. Back in her suite, Deja asked about the DM. Tessa, the best reply is impact. Deja, silence is a luxury. Enjoy it. She posted a photo of scholarship recipient sketches captioned, Legacy over Ego. Like Sword, Damien's apology thread got buried under it. Later that night, Tessa stood on Marseille's marina deck. Sea breeze carried briny promise. She pulled out her phone, scrolled to Damien's message, and archived it, neither deleting nor answering, simply storing it with old receipts. Inner monologue. Closure isn't a conversation. It's a choice to keep walking. Fireworks from another gala lit the sky. Their reflection shimmered on the water, then dissolved. She smiled, sensing how vast the ocean of her future was, uncharted, unsupervised, hers. Behind her, Deja called, the boat's ready, Your Majesty, a rented sailboat hosting their cruise after party. Tessa tucked the phone away and boarded, greeted by aunties waving champagne flutes. Music rose, Afrobeats meeting French house, a fusion only dreamers invent. The sail caught wind. The vessel angled toward open sea. Tessa leaned over the railing, dress whipping. Somewhere in Lagos, Damien would refresh and wait for dots that never returned. Somewhere across 1,000 screens, girls who once felt not the type sketch gowns, lifted phones, dared to shine. And Tessa? She simply sailed forward, horizon swallowing past regret, night sky crowning her with indifferent stars. 6 months later, Time magazine revealed its annual 100 Voices Redefining the World. On the digital cover stood Tessa Majuabuchi, hair braided into a halo, eye makeup flecked with gold leaf. The subheadline read, Beauty Beyond Templates. Tessa learned the news while fitting a Burns car survivor for a bespoke wedding dress in her Lagos pop-up studio. The bride, Chinello, stared at the phone alert, then at Tessa, nearly dropping a box of bead appliques. Chinello, you're on the cover that told the world Malala matters. Tessa, today it tells the world you matter too. Raise your arms, let's adjust the bodice. Cameras from Arise TV had been documenting the fitting as part of a series on Tessa's Clay to Crown Fellowship. Now the crew erupted, shoving boom mics toward her. She dodged, pinning a seam. Journalist, will you issue a statement about Damien Vero's public bankruptcy? Tessa, my focus is creating garments that make forgotten people unforgettable. That's all the statement I need. Across continents, media contrasted her serene rise with Damien's implosion, Afflex's data breach, lawsuits with sponsors, Zara's quiet departure. But Tessa never mentioned him. Online pundits called it the silence flex. That evening she met Deja at RSVP Lagos rooftop bar. Lanterns drifted over the pool. Afrobeats kissed the humidity. Deja, to silent flexes louder than any clapback. Tessa, to choosing substance over spectacle. A 3D drone billboard across Ozumbambaju lit with her cover. Lagos commuters honked approval. A bus conductor yelled, "Queen Tessa." Deja squeezed her shoulders. Deja, glow this bright and haters will need SPF 5000. Tessa, let them find umbrellas. I'm busy shining. 2 weeks later, Tessa flew to Johannesburg, host city for the inaugural Miss Renaissance, a pageant rejecting size, age, and disability limits. The board named her producer host, meaning she'd design opening night costumes and steer the broadcast. Backstage at the Teatro Monte Cassino, contestants rehearsed in cultural regalia. Kenyan bead armor, Haitian rara skirts, Ghanaian Kent wings. Tessa glided through with clipboard and headset, wearing a tailored indigo suit embroidered with the Dinkra symbols for resilience. Technical director Nality flagged a crisis. Miss Jamaica seemed split minutes before curtain. Nality, camera 4 starts on her. We can't blur wardrobe malfunction. Tessa, need 4 minutes, a zipper, and courage. She knelt, stitching as Miss Jamaica. Ayana trembled. Ayana, people called me Elephant Girl in school. Now this. Tessa, elephants remember. So will the world, your strength, not your seam. Ayana exhaled, seam secured. Stage manager counted down. Tessa sprinted to podium, mic live. Tessa, good evening, Globe. Tonight, crowns are not bestowed. They are claimed by stories. Cheers shook rafters. Contestants paraded. Audience roared at Ayana's flawless swirl. Judges trended the hashtag crown your story. During intermission, Deja texted, stream peaked 14 million, bigger than Miss Universe. Tessa typed back a heart, glanced at her reflection, no marble palace behind her, just cables and crew. Yet the invisible crown felt weightier than gold, purpose. After the show, Africans from Cairo to Cape Town lit Twitter with gifs of Tessa's speech. Even celebrities updated bios to I crown myself. Retailers begged for replicas of her Adinkra suit. She deferred, planning to auction one for charity instead. Post-pageant press junket, a BBC correspondent cornered Tessa inside a green room flooded with orchids. Reporter, if you could address the man who once said you weren't his type, what would you say now? Tessa, I wasn't his type. I was and am his lesson. She didn't intend shade, it simply felt true. Still, the clip detonated across TikTok, edited with exploding text graphics, remixed into trap beats. Teens printed it on hoodies, corporate workshops quoted it in slide decks on resilience. Back in Lagos, street muralist spray painted her silhouette with the lines swirling like graffiti gospel. Deja phoned, half laughing, half worried. Deja, you just became a motivational poster, sis. Tessa, then may the motivation outlast the meme. Meanwhile, Damien, holed up in a rented studio, doom-scrolled every remix. A friend filmed his reaction, eyes glossy, breath shallow, and leaked it. Sympathetic comments rose, but so did reminders, play stupid games, win viral lessons. Tessa refused to celebrate his pain. Instead, she partnered with TikTok to launch hashtag lesson line, a challenge for users to share the hardest lesson that sparked their glow up. The platform pledged $1 for every submission to her fellowship. In 72 hours, they hit 1 million videos, $1 million. At a live stream announcing the milestone, Tessa wore a simple white tee. Lessons likes. Donations soared another 500,000. She ended the stream quoting her late mother, Tessa, our scars aren't shame. They're cartography guiding others through the dark. Chat exploded with crying emojis. Even skeptics admitted she used virality like a scalpel, not a sword. South African Vogue booked Zara for a cover titled The Other Woman No More. During the sit-down, journalist Linda asked about her breakup with Damien. Zara, He'd wake at 3 a.m. scrolling Tessa's feed, muttering how it should have been him trending. He loved her spotlight more than he ever loved me. The quote might have slid under radar until an intern clipped it to TikTok with a dramatic, "Oh" soundtrack. Boom, trending tab within hours. Members paired Zara's line with popcorn gifs. Think pieces debated male fragility. Damien issued a rebuttal statement blaming media manipulation. Twitter users supercut it with older clips of him calling Tessa off-brand. The contrast hammered his credibility. Zara DM'd Tessa, "Apologies for name-dropping. Wanted truth, not drama." Tessa replied graciously, "Truth heals. May yours free you." The two women weren't friends, but solidarity tasted cleaner than rivalry. Deja suggested capitalizing on the noise. Deja, a joint panel, Women Who Outgrow Toxic Fame. Ticket sales benefit Clay to crown. Tessa, tempting, but she needs space to reclaim her narrative alone first. Deja, still the queen of empathy. Nevertheless, Zara publicly pledged 30% of her new activewear line profits to Tessa's fellowship. A move hailed as glow-tition, not competition. Stocks in Zara's venture spiked. More evidence that generosity pays dividends. Damien watched both women eclipse him financially and morally. Late at night, he drafted an email to a small Fitness for All NGO asking to volunteer. He pressed send, uncertain if redemption existed, but aware at last that spotlights blind as well as bless. 12 months after that brutal dinner at La Serena, Tessa unveiled her first Ready Tower line, Type Me, inside a repurposed Legos train depot. The collection riffed on the phrase once used to exclude her. Every label tag bore checkboxes: strong, soft, scholar, dreamer, inviting wearers to tick all that applied. A mirror-etched sign read, "Select as many as you want. You define you." The launch fused runway with block party. Food trucks served Jollified mashups. Spoken word poets performed between model sets. VR booths let guests design digital crowns, overlaying their reflections, coded by girls in Tessa's fellowship. She opened the show not with a speech, but a walk, wearing a simple cream jumpsuit, cape printed with every hateful comment once leveled at her. Halfway, she pulled a hidden cord. The cape shed like snake skin, revealing silk lining silkscreen with counterwords, phenomenal, fire, future. Crowd erupted. Backstage, Chinello, the Burns car bride, worked as assistant dresser, beaming in her heeled skin lace gown. Deja orchestrated drones capturing aerial choreography spelling, "Your type is power." At finale, house lights dimmed. A single spotlight centered Tessa. She addressed 5,000 in-person guests and 500,000 live streamers. Tessa, a year ago someone decided I wasn't the right type. Tonight, I invite you to crown yourselves whatever type sets you free. Thunder of applause. Confetti cannons blasted seed paper that would sprout wildflowers wherever it landed, symbol of beauty that keeps giving. In the VIP lounge later, investors waived contracts, celebrities requested custom gowns, publishers pitched memoir deals. Tessa accepted sparkling water and breathed. Deja joined, heels off, eyes shining. Deja, so Saint Tess, conquered fashion, media, philanthropy. What's next? Tessa, nap. Then maybe schools teaching girls to code, sew, and dream at once. They toasted coconut ginger mocktails. Across the depot, a corner TV replayed Damien coaching kids at a community park, face genuine for the first time. Tessa watched, nodded. Everyone deserves chapters. Outside, Lagos traffic hummed a lullaby. Billboard drones spelled "Crown Yourself" over the night lagoon. Drivers slowed, snapping photos, laughter echoing. Tessa stepped onto a balcony, confetti petals crunching under stilettos. She removed them, stood barefoot against warm concrete, and lifted her chin to the breeze. No tiara balance there. Her crown was the sky, vast and scattered with possibilities. Her phone buzzed. A message from her fellowship's app. First student placed in Paris internship. She exhaled joy, typed back a flurry of fireworks emojis. Behind her the party pulsed, in front the city glowed. Above the stars kept their silent vigil. One impulsive dinner had tried to script her story. She rewrote it into an epic where the protagonist gives herself the final coronation. And as the camera of the world zoomed out, the last image was not one man crumbling, but millions rising, tick-boxing every trait, crowning themselves and walking forward in gowns of their own becoming.